Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of the B.Y.O podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm Jordan.
And we definitely didn't reshoot this entire episode.
Not at all. This is the first try, 100%.
Alright, well, I guess this is our show. We're basically, we sort of in a position where we wanted to talk amongst ourselves about pop culture and gaming and movie news and TV news and all that sort of stuff, reviews, reactions, all that sort of thing. And we pretty much just decided that we have these conversations amongst ourselves anyway, so we may as well throw a camera up and record them.
Share them with everyone else.
Yeah, just in case anyone cares or wants to have a conversation with us, I guess. So should we just jump into it, do you reckon? Just jump straight into it?
Why not? What's been happening?
Well, I've just got a rundown of things that have happened in the last week or so. Obviously, we got the first Joker trailer from Todd Phillips, Joaquin Phoenix. We got information on Terminator Dark Fate, finally, out of CinemaCon, as well as a heap of stuff to do with The Lion King, more Toy Story footage. We got confirmation that Idris Elba was definitely in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, but not necessarily playing Deadshot, as everyone thought, replacing Will Smith. We got a bit of information about Angelina Jolie maybe joining the MCU in the Eternals movie, and as well as Kumail Nanjiani from Silicon Valley, Big Sick, as well. Obviously, Shazam just dropped in theatres now. Go and see that if you haven't. That may be something we can come back and talk about a little bit. And I think that's pretty much it. That's sort of pretty much. Well, I mean, we got confirmation of Black Adam on The Rock.
Like a couple of hours ago.
A couple of hours ago. Confirmation that Black Adam was going to film in the next 12 months. We also got confirmation that Shazam sequel is 100% going to go ahead. Same writer, same director. It sort of seems as though the whole gang's going to come back. And I'd say they'll probably push into that. Probably try and make it another Christmas movie. This one felt like a Christmas movie. I think it was a Christmas movie set at Christmas.
Yeah,
it just
definitely
didn't get the right release. So
Christmas in.
But out of that list of things, is there anything in particular that sort of jumps out at you want to talk about?
I mean, it was definitely exciting to finally see a proper trailer for Joker.
Oh, for Joker,
it
yeah,
looks
for sure.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I'm even more excited now. I mean, it was definitely something to go in. I don't know about worrying about, but sort of unsure of. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
exciting.
It's
it's such a departure, I guess, from like, not that people were used to Jared Leto's Joker from Suicide Squad, but like,
not at all,
it's a very, very, very hard right corner turn, from the tats and all that sort of stuff, and the diabolical gangster vibe that he had going. This very much seems like a downfall of like a somewhat decent man, I guess.
Mild-mannered guy.
Yeah. So do you think that it kind of is an adaptation of like the One Bad Day stuff, like we've seen, like he's the failed comic and all that sort of thing, like from what you saw in the trailer? Do you think that's really the angle that they're going, or do you think that sort of they're purposely, like they've maybe borrowed elements from some of those comics?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely taking cues from a few different areas. I think there's definitely a little bit of inspiration from even Heath Ledger's Joker in there.
For sure. There's already like heaps of chatter online, and people are like, what if this ends up being like a weird prequel, sequel thing to The Dark Knight? And I'm like, no, I don't think they would do that.
He was too young, I think, for that to be, especially if that kid that he's playing with through the fence is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Do you think that they'll do the thing that they did in Tim Burton's Batman '89, where it sets up this like sort of connection between Bruce Wayne and the Joker, in that the end of this movie we will see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker kill Thomas Wayne and like set it on that path? Or do you think it's like completely elsewhere?
No, that would be great.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. So like get rid of the Joe Chill stuff like they did with Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah, I would really like that actually. That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it going down that path at all, actually.
Yeah, well, like in the trailer, like you see, like, so just so in case you guys don't know, there's sort of the shot of Arthur Fleck, which is Joaquin Phoenix's Joker's real name, and he's like peeking through the fence, and he's sort of got this kid making this like weird predator face, and that's essentially pretty much been confirmed that young actor is playing young Bruce Wayne in this movie, which is crazy. That's crazy. Like it's so very much an Elseworlds tale. I love it. I actually really hope that this is so successful that it launches a whole bevy of like DC Elseworlds stories.
I would love that if DC, rather than being just DCU, would be DC Elseworld.
Yeah, like get rid of the continuity. Like get rid of the continuity.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. 100%.
I would prefer that.
Amazing.
Well, I mean, look at like even since like I wouldn't call it the Snyder trilogy because we definitely haven't seen his Justice League, but like what he was setting up was like a singular vision, and then Wonder Woman was like a kind of a little bit of a departure from that, and then Aquaman was a huge departure from that, and then obviously like Shazam now has come out and is hard to imagine that Shazam, that Billy Batson and the Superman from Man of Steel coexist in the same universe.
Yeah, definitely. They feel very different. It feels like Shazam's popped right out of a Marvel
it does.
dimension and is in DC. It's definitely not as dark and brooding. Like there was definitely some brutal parts in there. Yeah. Sorry, I know we're going on to Shazam now.
Well, we had to talk about Shazam anyway.
But it's definitely more lighthearted and felt had the jokes thrown in there, which is always fun if it's not overdone.
Yeah, he's definitely that type of character though. Like I think
100%.
They did the right thing. He's kind of I have seen some people online sort of say, he's very much like DC's answer to Deadpool. I'm like, not really. Like he's not that kind of character.
Yeah, he's not breaking the fourth wall or anything.
They call him the big red cheese for a reason. But it's not. It's not because he's Deadpool-esque. It's not. I don't think it's the same sort of thing.
I think if they are going to make any character Deadpool-like, it's going to be Harley Quinn.
For sure.
Because that's the path that I think they're going to go down, especially with this new Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be breaking the fourth wall a bit.
Well, they pretty much kind of confirmed that she was coming back for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Which, depending on who you speak to, is a reboot, a retooling, a relaunch, or a complete and total reboot.
Who knows?
And James Gunn has spoken, has not spoken about it whatsoever publicly anyway. But then you've got all these actors that are all like, yes, we're definitely coming back. Jai Courtney was like, hell's yeah, matey, crikey, I'll be back. And then like I just put on an Australian accent, and I have an Australian accent.
It was good.
And then we haven't had confirmation yet 100%, but Harley, like obviously Margot is probably going to be back as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Viola Davis just confirmed that her Amanda Waller was going to be back. Joel Kinnaman, I think it is. He confirmed, I think, in the last couple of days that he will probably be back as Rick Flag. So it seems as though like the only one that's not going to be back would be either Killer Croc and obviously El Diablo because he died in the movie. Like spoilers for that movie from years ago.
Yeah.
And I would assume Jared Leto's Joker, but there's set photos from Birds of Prey of Harley Quinn and Jared Leto's Joker, but not actually played by Jared Leto at the moment because he's shooting that god-awful Sony Morbius Venom spin-off thing that's just... I don't understand why that exists.
Who knows?
Not played by him, so like I think you're right in the sense that Harley is kind of going to be their constant throughout the universe.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
She can be in the Suicide Squad. She can exist in the DCU original continuity, like the Snyderverse, I guess you call it, just to sort of make things easier. But I could see her existing in like the Shazam movies and stuff like that, or like another Justice League, or I can see her interacting with like a Black Adam.
She's definitely, I think, one of the only characters that could flow freely through all of those different, I guess, genres of just of DC. So I think, she's definitely got a few coming up.
Yeah, for sure. We should just call this DC chat at the moment because that's always a thought.
Yeah, right. Moving on. What about that Terminator?
Terminator. We finally got. So this is again at CinemaCon. CinemaCon's like a convention thing that they sort of have for marketing and that sort of thing to show off like first look posters, first look trailers, teasers, all that sort of stuff for like online pundits and like all the big trades that do all the reporting and whatnot. And we finally got. I don't think there was footage of Terminator, but Arnie was there. Arnold Schwarzenegger was there, and he reintroduced Linda Hamilton. Was like Sarah Connor's back, and like introduced some of the new characters. And then they showed off some character. I don't think they were character posters, but they're just like stills photographs from the actual production.
Yeah, that's all I've seen.
Yeah, and we saw like Schwarzenegger's character. We saw like the new Terminator, which apparently can split in two, so that at any given time there can be multiple versions of the same Terminator. which is different.
Fair enough. I mean, it's been the liquid Terminator for so many movies now, so it's good to see. Well,
keep in mind though, this one ignores. So from Sarah Connor herself's mouth, from Linda Hamilton's mouth, she literally said like all the other Terminator movies except T1 and T2 have just been meh. And all the online like trades and stuff, like all the like web clickbait websites and stuff were all like, oh, you can't say that, and I'm like, of course you can. I mean, like she was pioneered that role. Like
she's definitely not wrong either.
No, like there's not people like lining up to fight people in the streets and be like, Terminator Genisys is the best fucking movie ever made. That doesn't happen. Those movies were terrible. Terminator 3. Like was fun but dumb as hell. Terminator Salvation, I really, really, really liked the premise, it was like mismarketed, and I think like putting just like some of the actors in there, I think it was like miscast. Christian Bale was all right, but like I liked that post-apocalyptic look.
It was great to see the future that we had heard so much about in the past 3 movies. What it had become. And then, you know, sending back John Connor and everything, that was cool. But they definitely took a couple wrong steps.
Yeah, because this is like James Cameron has literally like confirmed like this literally is a sequel to Terminator 2.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
It has nothing to do with any other movies, which is it's so weird to me because when Terminator Genisys was coming out, all the marketing was like exactly like this. James Cameron sitting down like talking to camera, and he was sort of like, look, this is really the one. This is the genuine sequel to the movie that I made all those years ago. And then it came out and everyone was like, what the fuck are you smoking, James Cameron? Like, I really hope this doesn't happen to his Avatar movies. Like,
what if this is the genuine sequel? And
I hope so.
The one after this is the genuine sequel.
God, we need a good Terminator movie so bad. So bad. So like have you got any like expectations? Like you're not that big of a Terminator fan.
I love Terminator 2. Judgment Day is up there with one of my favourite movies of all time, and I think that goes for a lot of people. So
it is mostly like voted as like the #1 action movie in history.
It's incredible. Everyone knows it, but it's you sort of lose your interest in it after so many failed viewings, attempts, unfortunately. Not in Judgment Day, just in like the
Terminator franchise in general.
It's sad to see, so it would be good to see it rise to fame again and be incredible.
That needs to. And I think they like the timing's right. I feel like the timing's right for like an action movie to come back with like some horror elements, like just sort of like going back to Shazam, like we were talking about before. It had like some horror elements, like David Sandberg is a horror director, the guy who directed that. And there was definitely like horror elements throughout that movie, even though it's like extremely kid friendly, but like there was really dark moments throughout that movie.
The 7 Deadly Sins.
I feel like Terminator is a franchise that could do that. Like go away from the cheesiness and like concentrate on like the action, the good storytelling, like keep it small and focused. Because I think that's what worked the most for T1 and T2. Was like they were like focused movies. It wasn't like this big world-ending thing that was going to happen. Not that we were going to see anyway. We knew what the threat was because we'd been told across 2 movies what the threat was. And they just need to. I feel like maybe this is the one. Like it's the guy that directed. I'm pretty sure it's the guy that directed Deadpool. Like Deadpool 1, I should say. And he directed like a heap of shorts. He was like really famous for doing gaming commercials and stuff. He did that really cool Arkham commercial years and years and years ago where it was young Bruce Wayne and someone getting shot in front of him, and then it was someone punching him while he was at school, and then it was no, you haven't seen it.
This one. No.
I'll link it in the description. I'll link it down in the comments and stuff, because like it's dope. Like people haven't seen that. Like it's such good storytelling for a commercial. Like it's legitimately one of my favorite commercials of all time. I really think like he's the guy. So obviously we touched on Idris Elba reportedly replacing Will Smith weeks and weeks and weeks ago. That was what the narrative was, and everyone thought that's, fair enough, like glow up or whatever it is that people say these days. Which is so unfair. Like Will Smith's a great actor, but like he's not Idris Elba. But I mean, in Suicide Squad he really stole the show, I think. He was amazing in that. He definitely was the best part of that movie. But in fairness, like the bar was so low. He could have given like a so-so performance, and everyone would have been like, "Yes, Will Smith. Congratulations, Will Smith. Yes, that's fantastic. Real standout." But no, it's been confirmed now that he's not actually playing that character. He's not replacing Will Smith. He's playing a all-new character in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Any ideas who we think he may be? Like, I first was like, oh my god, like can they make him King Shark? That would be amazing. But you've got a big name actor, someone who's hella famous. They're not gonna have him turn into a giant shark.
Face,
so you were thinking Bronze Tiger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's likely. I mean, there's so many characters out there. And he doesn't have to be a black character.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They could race bend a character to just fit him into the universe. I mean, there's so much stuff.
Be Lex Luthor.
Oh man, you've thrown a spanner in the works now. That would be dope.
I mean, Jesse Eisenberg could be out.
Well, the DCU continuity is pretty much dead.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, you're gonna throw that out into the world.
Idris Elba, Lex Luthor.
Oh my god, can you imagine? God. All right, enough with the DC talk. So we touched on it before. Kumail Nanjiani joining the Eternals.
Yeah.
Like we've known for a while that Endgame was obviously like the culmination of like the 21 or 22 movies or whatever it is that the MCU's up to now.
Yeah.
And Kevin Feige, the producer on all those movies, has come out and said like this is called the Infinity Saga. This is definitively like the end of this actual first phase of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And apart from Spider-Man Homecoming, we sort of don't really have any idea of like moving forward what movies are going to happen. Like we don't know if there's another Thor. We don't really know if there's another Black Panther.
Sort of confirmation on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I
guess, but like the Guardians roster can change.
Yeah.
Like Black Panther in continuity right now is dead. How do you make a sequel to that?
And so's his sister.
Yeah.
So
like yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. The trailer confirmed that Shuri had died as well. Unless they're going to make Deny her character with the staff.
Yeah, I mean, she could be Black Panther,
she could
I guess.
I don't know. She was so popular.
She was great, yeah.
I don't know. But if you got any idea on, like, who do you think Kumail Nanjiani... Because, like, I like, looked through the roster of the Eternals, because it's not something that I was especially familiar with.
Yeah, me either. And, I mean, it's another one of those ever-changing rosters.
Yeah.
So he could be anyone.
Yeah.
He could be a voice. He could be,
a
full-fledged character. There's just too many to choose from.
The only thing that, like while I was, like, flicking through the wiki pages and stuff, the only thing that I sort of caught my eye on was, like, oh, yeah, like, Kumail's, like, charismatic enough to do that and obviously very funny, is Star Fox, which is basically... Well, it's Thanos' brother. And, like, it's one of those things where I was like, oh, man, like, is that what they're going to do? Like, are they going to race bend a character, like, to fit the casting and stuff like that, which is fine. Like, no one's out there, like, beating on Disney's doors being like, make sure that you, like, cast this specific person as this Eternals character. Like, I don't think they're that popular for that sort of stuff to happen. But, I don't know, I'm excited about this. I really like that guy. Yeah,
he's great. Yeah. And he's really shown his acting chops over the past couple of years. I mean, The Big Sick was fantastic, and that was, written and directed by him and his wife, Emily Gordon.
Yeah.
And that was
She's
fantastic.
An amazing writer, actually. She's an amazing writer.
And this new one that he's in with Dave Bautista looks pretty funny.
Is it Stuber?
Stuber, that's it.
Something like that, yeah. It looks really funny.
It looks great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Have you ever seen him on Silicon Valley?
Yes.
Yeah, he was really good. Yeah, obviously, that's what most people know him from Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And he had a bit part in Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, where he was the masseuse. Remember that? And he actually talked about it. So, like, I'm obviously a big Smallville fan. A lot of the guys that are watching here will probably know that. But he was on Lex Luthor, Lex Luthor from Smallville. The actor's name is Michael Rosenbaum, and he has a podcast called Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
And he actually spoke to Kumail, and it was very funny. He talked about, like, getting ready for that scene, and he was doing squats and all sorts of stuff to get ready for this, like, bare ass scene in this movie. But no, I love it. I love that he's blown up so much in the last, specifically, like, in the last, like, 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, it's great getting all these roles and...
Yeah, it's going to be rad, dude. It really excites me because all these comedic actors that come up, like, a lot of their lives have been, like, quite hard, and, like, comedy comes from such a dark place, and that's why, like, people are always surprised when they see, like, someone like Seth Rogen or Jason Segel or someone that's sort of more known for comedy all of a sudden turns around and does these like really cool dramatic roles.
Yeah,
like Seth was in 50-50, that cancer movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt forever ago.
That was amazing.
And then he was in one of the Steve Jobs movies with Fassbender, and that was like nominated for a few Oscars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess it goes back to even like Robin Williams and stuff back in the day, like being able to crank out these great dramatic roles, even though they're mostly known for comedy. Yeah, I love when that sort of stuff happens. I'm really excited by
it. It really
that.
surprises people too, because a lot of people see a comedic actor and think, no, they have to do comedies. That's what they have to do.
Pigeonhole them.
And when you see them do great in even an action or like a really serious movie, like look at Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Look at Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Chris before Evans they became
they were comedians.
Superheroes, they were comedic actors.
I'll never forget Chris Evans in what was it, Not Another Teen Movie?
Yeah.
Oh god. Tad something or something it was. Yeah, the banana split.
Yeah.
Oh god. If you haven't seen Not Another Teen Movie, it's the greatest precursor to Captain America I think anyone could ever watch.
It's essentially a prequel, right?
Yeah. Definitely check that out. Now we wanted to finish on a proper Shazam review, I think, like where we just talk about it a little bit more. Obviously no spoilers or anything, but like the movie's out, it's done really well. They've obviously now announced that they're going to 100% going to do a sequel. We're going to get a spin-off of it as well. Black Adam's finally going to come out. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, was an executive producer on this movie, so like he did like a live stream where he was thanking people for coming out and supporting his movie again. His movie, I don't know how much of a hand he had in getting this one made, but he's an EP on it, so I guess he can call it his movie.
Yeah.
And he pretty much confirmed that like the reason that it took so long to get made, he selfishly wanted to be in the movie. He wanted to make a Shazam movie that essentially had two origin stories, one for Billy Batson and one for Black Adam. And he pretty much sort of said like once he stepped out of the way and they were able to go in and write something that was really focused on Billy and Shazam, that they sort of just pulled the trigger and made it happen, and like it's all coming together now, and it seems like it's going to culminate in Black Adam. He's going to be I think probably the third of that trilogy, or maybe the Shazam sequel will be the third of that trilogy. Because if they're shooting Black Adam
now, then
no, it's within 12 months. He said.
Okay.
So depending on what the turnaround is on the script for Shazam 2, like that was only announced like a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, fair enough.
I guess we'll see.
Who knows? I mean, Black Adam script's probably been done for a while if he's been so keen on doing it.
I think it's more availability for him, because he's in everything. Dude is in everything, and like even stuff that people don't know about. Like he's still in Ballers on HBO. Like he's still like he's the EP and like the main guy in that TV show.
Yeah.
Like
how does he have the time?
And then to like spend time with his family and like still find time to like work out and look like an absolute tank.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's impressive.
Anyway, coming back to talking about Shazam, obviously it was an origin story, handled a little bit differently. One of the most diverse casts, I think, ever in any comic book movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously big representation of for like foster care and stuff like that, like in a good light. I think you and I are pretty much in the same boat. Neither of us absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, yes, 5 stars, like it's the second coming of Christopher Reeve's Superman. Like I've seen there's lots of like hyperbole out there of people comparing it to those like upper echelon of movies, and it is great. It is a really good time at the movies. I definitely don't think it's a masterpiece.
No, definitely not. It's fun. It's a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a great I don't know, sit down and enjoy yourself movie, but it isn't definitely not a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely middle of the run for DC movies as well.
Yeah, well,
it's
I
definitely
think
not the bottom.
No, oh god, no. That's hardcore. That's reserved for Justice League and Suicide Squad. That's big time, big time. But no, I think you're right. Like I think I probably put it below Aquaman, but you would put it above Aquaman.
I'd put it above Aquaman. Yeah.
So for everyone that's listening, like it won't be any surprise to anyone that's come over from my Instagram anyway. Like Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman Ultimate Cut, sort of go back and forth for me on like first and second, depending on who I'm talking to. Sometimes Wonder Woman is number one as well. It just depends on like how I'm feeling on the day. There's no definitive list for me. Yeah, well, no, but like it's more than 2/3 of a great movie.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like everything, even after the fight with Ares, like it's still great even after that.
Yeah,
like,
it was just a moment,
yeah,
really.
Yeah,
that was sort of a letdown, but the rest is fantastic.
Yeah. But like. So, like, if you had to like rate it, I guess, like a 5-star rating or something, where would you be sitting with that?
I mean, I'd give it a 4.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
definitely.
I'd probably land around there as well, 3.5, 4.
Yeah,
definitely something I'll buy on Blu-ray. Definitely something that I'd revisit and recommend for people.
Oh, definitely. I mean, go out and watch it. Don't miss it. It's great in IMAX.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah. Visual effects wise, did you find that some of the visual effects shots weren't great? That was something that I noticed, but I don't know whether it was...
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just DC at the moment. They just haven't cracked it yet.
Yeah.
Marvel sort of really nails their visual effects at the moment, and DC, I think they're getting there. It's definitely getting better, and the 7 Deadly Sins definitely looked better than the Parademons and most of Justice League. But
what do you mean, most of Justice League?
I don't know.
What do you mean? I think I agree with you there. I think, and that may have just had to do, like, it wasn't a mega budget movie. I think it was like 60 million or 80 million or something. It wasn't, like, in comparison to Justice League, which is over $200 million.
Well, I mean, it's much better than on a budget like that.
Without spoiling anything, is there any sort of expectations that you'd have for a sequel? Like, is there anything that you want to see more of, or that you want them to explore more of?
I mean, I guess it depends on where it sort of sits, whether it is before or after Black Adam.
Yeah.
If it's afterwards, it would be great to see Black Adam in it. It would be cool to see them go head-to-head. If not, it would be awesome to see him go head-to-head with even like Superman or something.
Yeah, I would love that.
It's something
where they have to team up
Superman. It would be.
They would have to recast
awesome.
Superman. Oh, 100%. They would have to recast Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Superman would have to go back to.
Like old school.
Old school Superman. Boy Scout Superman, I think.
Which is more representative in like Supergirl on TV now. Like the Tyler Hoechlin Superman is like has much more. Not that they would ever cast Tyler Hoechlin as Superman in the DC films, but
definitely
I think moving forward, if they are at a point now where they have to make a decision of like we're either leaning into the new DC continuity. Or they're going to do like this weird like disconnect where like all of these films have got like shared assets, but characters from other movies aren't showing up in other movies. I think why not just like bring in a new Superman?
Yeah,
I wouldn't care. I know there's a lot of people out there obviously that love Henry Cavill, but like that dude's got a career. He's got other things that he wants to do. He doesn't want Warner Brothers has stuffed him around a little bit.
Oh, definitely.
He may not even want to come back. Like, look at how poorly they treated Ben Affleck. Like,
I mean, they had signed on to do however many movies in a much shorter period of time. Like, getting 6 years down the track and having 3 movies is
it's a bit rough.
And not even your own movies, like being thrown to the background with Justice League. It's sad. It's sad to see because I really liked him as Superman. I think he was a good. Superman.
So that's something you'd want to see more in the Shazam sequel. Then you want to see them explore the relationship between Superman, like the Justice League and Shazam.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to see more working together because I mean they've got the Shazam family. That's enough of their own Justice League, I guess. So whatever bad guys they bring in, I mean definitely Black Adam needs to be in there. I think that's a given.
Yeah,
100%.
That would be something cool to explore, like to explore the Shazam family and like what sort of stuff they could do with that.
Yeah,
that would be rad. That would be actually really rad. All right, we're wrapping it up. Obviously, we should let you guys know we've got this. This isn't always going to be the format. This is literally just us. We just wanted to like sit down and have a chat and like test and see like if we were comfortable talking on camera and stuff like that. And if you guys were responsive to us talking in the first place anyway, just to sort of test the waters as a sort of a litmus test. But we've got other things we want to do. We want to do, obviously, movie news and stuff like that. we did want to talk about gaming, which like at the moment, like I'm fairly heavily involved in Power Rangers Battle for the Grid on PlayStation. I know you're playing something on Switch.
Yeah, just with a couple of friends. Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Yep.
It's a pretty old game, but
it's a party game.
It's a party game. Yeah. If you've got 3 friends and want to sit around a couch and can't think of a game to play, play Ultimate Chicken Horse. It's a lot of fun.
I'll throw some links up down to that as well, like if people want to check that out. The same with Battle for the Grid. Like it's really fun. It's sort of like a Marvel versus Capcom sort of. I don't know that it's definitely inspired by it. It's an homage to those games.
Yeah.
Very bare bones at the moment. It's like 9 characters and 4 arenas or something, but it's great fun. Like if there's anyone in there who's a Power Rangers fan, jump in and have a crack. Whether it's like Mighty Morphin, like back in the day when we were all young fellas, or like all the way up to like some of the new stuff, it's pretty much all covered. But if anyone wants to get in contact with you, where can they find you online?
Instagram, Jordan M. Bailey.
Jordan M. Bailey. Yep, cool. And same for me on Instagram or Twitter. It's Ryan Unicomb. Obviously, you can send us messages through YouTube, send us messages through Instagram, comment on this, subscribe, subscribe, whatever it is. Smash that like button, like everyone talks about.
Hit that bell.
Hit that bell with notifications, blah, 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 whatever it is. But yeah, guys, if you've got any questions or there's anything that you want us to talk about, hit us up, because it's not like there's a lack of stuff out there to talk about. It's just that we don't want to make episodes that are like 2 hours long. There's so much content out there already where it's people, the talking head stuff of people giving news and people giving opinions and that sort of stuff. We just didn't see very much representation of Australian people in particular that are really interested in pop culture and stuff like that. And it is a bit different out here. Like it's stuff's usually slower to come out. Sometimes we get movies first. There's games and toys that don't even come out here. And then sometimes there's games and toys and movies and stuff that are exclusive to Australia. So if there's ever anything that you just want us to talk about, just shoot us a comment and we're more than happy to talk about it. But I think that's it for now. I think that's the end of episode 1. See how we go. See how we went.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. And we'll